In this video, I want to show you how you can set up the WebViewGold Cloud Builder for your iOS application. It's super simple and it allows you to build your WebViewGold iOS application without having to have a Mac computer, without having to open Xcode and write code yourself, without having to manage the complicated code signing process, and without having to worry about building and distributing your application. It builds the application fully autonomously. It sends it to the App Store in just one click. You don't have to open Xcode and you don't need a Mac computer. This is super amazing. And on top of that, it's fully no code, meaning you can do all the settings, all the configurations that you would normally do through hundreds of code files. You can now do them all within a simple to use web-based editor. So in this video, I want to show you how you can go from the editor and submitting your application from there into the App Store. We're going to go through the whole initial setup that you only have to do one time to just get it all set up, and then you're good to go. So let's get started with the setup here for iOS. So as you can see, I already have my WebView Gold license added inside of here, and you need to make sure that you have it upgraded for the WebView Gold Cloud Editor. If you haven't already, you can just go to the website webviewgold.com and upgrade your application to access the WebView Gold Cloud Builder. So now in this example here, we already have our WebView application URL, which in my example is example.com. Make sure that it needs to be HTTPS, otherwise it will not work, or HTTP. But it should be HTTPS for security reasons to make sure that it optimally is loaded. Now we can just display our display name. So this will be the app name that the user will see under the app icon when they download the application. In my example, it's example app. And then for the iOS icon, you want to make sure that you upload a PNG that's exactly 1024 by 1024. Any other dimension will not work, and it cannot have transparent background. Let's upload that file, that PNG that meets the specifications. And as you can see, we got a visual preview now in how our app icon will look in the native system. Now we can do the same thing for the splash screen. We just go to the splash screen icon, upload our GIF. For the splash screen, I actually suggest using transparent background. It just looks nicer with that. And then you can adjust the size and, do all the settings. You can really tweak it the way you want. And now you have all those amazing configurations that are usually, quite a little bit complicated to set up. You got them all visually. You can set them up here. You can say always open in browser, always open stripe.com in the browser, and you can visually set up all of the stuff. It's super simple. You can enable full screen mode with just the click of a button and much, much more, right? It's super simple. So you have all those basic WebView settings, and then you also have the add-ons that let you configure more complex native features like biometric app lock, background location, and it's all fully visual. You don't need to touch any code. And then when it comes to very complex setups that we normally would do in Xcode, like the targets, they are fully automatically handled for you. Because if you ever tried adding the smart widget, the app clip, or the share into app target in your iOS application, you know that it is really a pain making sure that the targets are correctly linked, that they're in the build process and all that kind of stuff. We do that fully automatically for you. In here, it's just one click, and then configuring your smart widgets. Obviously, it gives me a widget error because I just put example.com here as the widget. But besides that, it's super simple to set up all those complex setups here. It's just one click to enable them, and it automatically signs them and configures them and makes sure that all the targets are set up. So you don't have to deal with all of that hassle inside of Xcode, which really is a painful process. So now, as you can see, we have added our app icon, we have added our splash screen. Now we need to connect it with the app stores. So let's get started with that. We have everything uploaded that is important to our application here and everything configured. Now we need to link it. And the process that we're going to go through right now together is a one-time process. You only have to do it once. You'll never have to do it again. So, it's a little bit of a process. It takes a couple of minutes, but After that, it's one click to send it to the store. So let's go on Publish App here. And now under Apple iOS, we're going to see that if we scroll down, we have the option here under Build Configuration to select our development team. Now, if you already have a development team, you can skip this next step. If you have not already set up a development team, click on Add New Developer Account, scroll down, it's an accordion, and then you can set up your developer account inside of here. So let's do this together. We're just going to go to the App Store Connect. We're going to go to Users and Access. And now we're just going to go to Integrations. There you go. And now under Integrations here, we're just going to add a new API key. So I'm just going to click on plus here. Now it could be that you're not seeing this interface that says like enable the API. Click on enable, accept the terms, and then continue, and then you'll see this interface inside of here. Click on the plus to create a new key. Call this WebView Gold or anything that helps you remember what this is. The naming can be really anything. And the important thing is the access role needs to be App Manager because WebView Gold needs to be able to manage your application here. Let's go on Generate. And now, as you can see, we have this key ID and all the setup going on. So now let's copy this issuer ID here that is on the top here. Let's copy this issuer ID. Let's go back to the WebViewGold Cloud Builder. And we're going to go to Account Issuer ID inside of here. And we're going to paste this inside of here. Now, the development team ID is missing. Apple doesn't actually give you the development team ID on the App Store Connect. So you have to go to developer.apple.com and you can then go to your developer profile here. And if you scroll down, you will see under your company name or your personal name, your team ID. So if you copy that here, you can just go inside of here and paste that team ID just like this inside of here. And there you go. Now you got that inside of here. And now we need to upload the API key ID that's all the way down here. So we're just going to go to our API key here for WebView Gold, and we're going to copy the key ID, that is this one here. And we're just going to paste this inside of here. Now keep in mind, this process is only something you have to do once. And now we're going to download our API key. Just like this. I'm just going to add it to my desktop. And now I can just simply click on Upload API Key and upload the API key right inside of here. And there you go. Now I can link this with Apple. And now it's going to link it with my Apple developer account. So now when I go to Development Team and I click on here, you can see here is my Apple developer account with a team ID. Now, this is a process, you only have to do it once. Now, the fact that this is already set up on my account means I can access this team on all my projects, on all my applications. So you only have to do this process one time. It's only the initial setup. And now, let's start setting up some of the more, not really complex stuff, but it takes a little bit to set up just because there's a lot that needs to be set up. But now we need to set up the bundle IDs for our application. It's quite simple, but it's a little bit of work. So let's get started with that. But I want to mention that this process here that we're going to go through, this particular part, is a one-time only setup. You do it once for your application and you're done forever. That is it. You never have to do it again. So let's now go to Apple Developer. Let's scroll up back here and let's go to our identifiers. Now we're under identifiers and we're going to click on plus. And under app IDs, we're going to click on continue. And we're now going to select app under the identifier type and we're going to go on continue again. Now, what we're doing is we're registering our application with Apple, and we're going to register all the bundle IDs that are related to the application. So now here we have the app bundle ID. We're just going to copy this bundle ID by clicking on the copy button. And then we're just going to paste the bundle ID inside of here. And we're now going to go on description, and I'm just going to call this example app. And I'm just going to give it my app name. There you go. And now we need to enable following capabilities for this core bundle ID. The bundle ID that we're registering here is the bundle ID for the entire application. So we're going to register app attest, app groups, associated domains, iCloud, include CloudKit support requires Xcode 6, and push notifications, broadcast capability. That's everything that we need. Now, with that being all set up, we can go on continue and register. And now we have it set up. So now if we look for example app, we will see that this is registered. Now we need to set up all the other bundle IDs. As you can see, there are more targets here that also require their own bundle IDs. This is something that you would normally manage in Xcode, and it's a little bit of a process. We do this automatically for you, but to be able to include and exclude them, they need to still be registered. So even if you're not using app clips and you have it disabled here under targets, right, you still need to register it because we need to be able to have it registered to be able to exclude it from the build process. So you're not submitting an app to the App Store that has app clips kind of like added as a target, and then, Apple will say, no, we can't accept this because you have app clips not properly disabled. So you need to register it for us to be able to automatically disable it for you. That's exactly the same what you would do in Xcode, but now it's way simpler here because it's a web interface and it's all no code. And you don't need to do all the fancy code signing stuff. So now let's start with the one signal target. That's the first module that we have to register. This has its own bundle ID, so we're just going to copy this bundle ID. We're going to go back to the certificates, identifiers, and profiles in the Apple developer account. We're going to generate a new app ID. We're going to create one new one. Let's go on continue. It will be type app, and we're going to go on continue. There you go. And now this will load a little bit. And now I'm just going to paste my bundle ID inside of here. Now I'm going to give it a description. I'm just going to do example app one signal. Now, always make sure to name things because the moment you have more than one applications on your app store, it's going to get a little bit messy. So there you go, you now have that beautifully added inside of here. And now for the one signal bundle ID, we need to enable two capabilities. So let's enable app groups, actually three. We do app groups, associated domains for deep linking, and then we're going to go all the way down here to push notifications, obviously, because one signal is for push notifications. And we're also making sure that broadcast capability is also enabled. So we have push notifications, broadcast capability. We have associated domains and app groups for the one signal bundle ID. Let's go and continue and register this. There you go. Now we need to create a new identifier here. If we scroll a little bit down, we're just going to go to app groups. We're going to go on continue. And now we're going to go back to the application here, to the WebView Cloud Builder. And now we're just going to go on push app group. And we're going to copy this inside of here. And we're going to paste the identifier inside of here. And that's now the app group. And then I'm going to give it a description. Example app one signal app group. There you go. Let's go and continue and register. Now I'm going to click on app groups, go back to app IDs, and I'm going to go through the search. And I'm going to search for example app. And I'm going to go to example app one signal. And now under the one signal app groups, we're going to link it with the one signal app group that we have generated and created in the past step. So we're going to go to app groups here under the capabilities. We're going to go on configure, and we're going to look for example app. And now we're going to check the example app one signal app group that's related because it's both one signal. So let's check this and continue, and let's save that, and let's confirm. There you go. Now we need to go back and look up example app inside of here and go to the core bundle ID, the one for the entire application. And now we're going to go to its app groups and link it with all the app groups that relate to this application. So we're going to go to app groups here. We're going to go on configure, and we're going to look up example app and link it with our example app group. Let's go on continue, and let's save this, and let's confirm. There you go. And now if we, look that up, example app, we have both of them now linked with the OneSignal app group. Now we need to go back into the WebViewGold Cloud Builder, and we're now going to look at the app clip target. And for the app clip targets is a little bit of a different interface. So we're not actually going to copy the bundle ID. We're just going to go back to certificates, identifiers, and profiles, create a new identifier that's an app ID. We're going to go on continue, but this time we're going to click on app clip. We're going to go on continue. Then we're going to select our parent app ID for example app. We're going to select our core bundle ID. And the product name will be the word clip with a capital C. And as you can see, that's exactly the one that we would be copying. Let's continue. There you go. And now I'm going to give it a description. I'm going to do example app clip. There you go. And now it needs to have some capabilities. We're going to enable app groups, associated domains, and push notifications. There you go. Let's go and continue and register. Perfect. Now we're going to create a new identifier that will be app groups again. For this app clip, we're going to go on continue, and we're now going to go back to the WebViewGold Cloud Builder. We're going to go on clip app group. We're going to copy this bundle ID or this app group ID. We're going to paste the identifier inside of here. We're going to call this example app clip app group. We're going to go on continue register. And there you go. Now we go back to app IDs. We're going to search and we're going to look for example app. We're going to go now on the example app clip bundle ID. And we're going to go on app groups. We're going to go on configure. We're going to look up example app inside of here. And now we need to make sure, because we're in the app clip bundle ID, that it's only linked with the app clip app group. And let's continue, save the changes. There you go. Let's look up again, example app inside of here. And now if we take a look at that here, you will see that we have the core bundle ID. We'll click on the core bundle ID. And under its app groups, we need to link it also with the app group that we just created. So under app groups, we're going to go on edit. We're going to look up example app, and we're also going to link this app group inside of here. Let's go and continue, save, confirm. There you go. Now we got that all set up. So now we'll go to the next one. That's the share target. Now for this, we're going to set it up again like we did before by just copying the ID here from the interface. So let's copy this. Let's create a new identifier. This will be an app ID. We'll go on continue. We'll go on type app. We're going to go on continue again. And now it will let us paste the bundle ID inside of here. The description will be example app share. It's the share target. And then we're going to enable only app groups, and that is all we need. We go on continue and register, and that is it. And now we go back here. This share target has its own app group. So we're going to copy its app group here. And we are now going to go to identifiers. We're going to create a new app group. We're going to go on continue. We're going to paste the identifier. We're going to go on description. The description will be example app share. We're going to go on continue, register. Now we're going to go back to app IDs. We're going to look for example app. And we're going to now go on the example app share bundle ID. We're going to go to its app groups. And then we will link it like we did before. we go to its app groups, we go on configure, we'll look up example app, and now we link it with the share group for the share bundle ID. So share is linking with share, and all the other ones are linking with their child group. Let's configure, save this, confirm, and there you go. Now we are going to do the last one. So let's go with the widget bundle ID. We're going to copy this one. We're going to go back to Apple Developer. We're going to create a new app ID. We're going to go on continue. It will be type app. Let's continue. Now we're going to paste the identifier. Just like this. I'm going to name this example app widget. Just like this. And now we're going to click on app groups only. That is all we need. We're going to go on continue, register, and there you go. And now we are going to copy the widget app group, this one here. We'll copy that. It's the last one, and you'll be done. We're going to go to identifiers. We're going to go on app groups. We're going to go on continue. We're going to paste the identifier inside of here. We're going to go on example app widget. We're going to go on continue and register. And there you go. Now we go back to app IDs. We're going to look for example app. And we're going to go now to the widget bundle ID for example app. And now this will load a little bit. And we are going to now go to app groups, go on configure. And we're going to look for this widget one. So the widget only links with the widget. We're going to go on continue, save, confirm, just like this. Now we're going to look up example app again. And now we are going to go back to the core bundle ID for the entire application. And we're also going to make sure that this widget app group is also linked with the app groups. So we go to app groups, we go to edit, and we're going to also make sure that both of those here are linked. Now, we didn't link the share one with this one, so we need to make sure that for the core bundle ID, all the ones that relate to the core bundle ID, so in this example, all those 4 app groups are linked to itself. So you have that full relation. So let's go and continue, and let's save that. Let's confirm, and this looks good. I just want to double check one thing. The example app, let me just double check that the share should have its own app group. Let's double check that because I think we skipped some steps on that, but no, this looks good. Perfect. Now, what you want to do, you want to look up your app name again under bundle IDs, and you want to go through all of them and make sure that the widget bundle ID is linked with the widget app group, that the share bundle ID is linked with the share app group, that the OneSignal bundle ID is linked with the OneSignal app group, that the app clip bundle ID is linked with the app clip app group, and then that the example app in your example, your application, my example app is linked with all of those app groups down here, that, all of their app groups. So you want to double check that. If you don't set it up correctly, your build will fail. But if you encounter any issues in setting this up, please go and get expert help on our editor here, and our support team will be able to help you and make sure that everything is set up correctly. And, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask us. So now we have this all set up here. And keep in mind, this process, those 15 minutes roughly that we went through in setting this up, this is one time. We did this one time. We'll never have to do this again. This is a one-time setup. Now, moving forward, it's just one push of a button. So now, let's go and let's set up the store listing. So under App Store Connect, we go to Apps, we create a new app, and now we're going to make sure it's iOS. I'm going to call it Example App WebView Gold. There you go. And I'm going to choose my primary language. I'm going to now select my bundle ID for my example app. So let's see, where the heck is my example app? Let's look at that here. There you go. We got example app here, and we take the core bundle ID for the example app. Then we do your SKU. The SKU is your app name in caps. So let's do example app. Now we're going to do full access, and we're going to create this. And now we have created the store listing with the App Store Connect for our application. Now inside of the store listing, we go to General, App Information, And then we see this Apple ID inside of here. We're going to copy this Apple ID. We're going to go back to the WebViewGold Cloud Builder. And in here, under Build Configuration, under App Store App ID, we're going to paste the ID inside of here. Again, this is part of the one-time setup. And now we're all done. That's everything we need to do on our end. So now the setup is fully completed. Now, on your end, if you would be rebuilding an update or doing your first update, let's just reload the page to give it a fair shot here. Your process moving forward will be going to Publish App. When there's a new WebView Gold version, or there's a new iOS version, or you made some changes in here, right? You just go on Publish Project, you click on here, it now automatically calls an M2 Mac computer somewhere in a warehouse. It opens Xcode and it sets it all up for you fully automatically. So it will now build the full application and set everything up for you. So it's really that simple to set it up. So now while this is building, let's just close this here. And as you can see, it's building it. We can preview all that, but now I'm going to make a little cut because it can take sometimes up to an hour to build it, and then we'll be able to get this all set up inside of TestFlight. Now, what you probably want to do in the meantime is go to your App Store Connect account, go to the general app section here of your application, and we need to find TestFlight. Where the heck did TestFlight go? Let's reload the page with Apple. There you go. And we go now to TestFlight here. So you see this here. Let's click on TestFlight. And now we can create an internal testing group, and we can invite some testers, and you can set that up if you want that. And then they can test it through the TestFlight application. So in this example, you can just create an internal testing group, and then you can just invite your testers here. But let's make a little cut here so we can just wait till the build finishes, and then I can show you how you can set this up in TestFlight. So as you can see, the build was successful. We got that right inside of here, and you can also download the IPA if you need that. And you can also get the full source code that was generated if you ever want to open it in Xcode from the export code panel, but it's already now submitted to the App Store. So if we now check our App Store Connect account, you see that under TestFlight Builds iOS, we got the build ready in here, right? And if we want to now distribute it after testing it, we can just go to Distribution, and we can now go to Build. We can add a build. We can set that in here, done. Fill out all the marketing information, click on Add for App Review, and it's submitted to App Review, and then it'll be on the App Store. But now, this is very simple. Let's take a look at how we can test this on our device, because that is also something that's very cool. Let's take a look at that here. We now have under Builds iOS, under the TestFlight section, our build here. And if we check our iPhone, that is part of this internal testing group that we have created, or an external testing group, depending on what you want to do, we can check our email, and we will get an email from TestFlight within a couple of minutes. We can click on View in TestFlight, and now we will see our application inside of here. And it's also already optimized for liquid glass. How cool is that? Let's install the application now. And now this will install the application, and then we can test it on our real device. So let's open the application. And now, as you can see, we got that all nicely set up, and we got our application all going here. Now, I think the connection on my computer is a little bit off, but yeah, if you see that, I got it in here, and the application is all, I think my screen mirroring is a little bit funky, but there you go. We got the application now inside of here, set up on our device. The icon is optimized for liquid glass, it's optimized for dark mode and all that kind of stuff. Pretty cool. We now got the application running here as a native application on our device, just like this. Isn't this beautiful? Look at that. And we can test it. It's on the store. We got it on TestFlight. We can now also create an external testing group to share that with some external testers with a link. And then you saw how easy it is to get it on the store. In less than 30 minutes, we got this fully set up here. And again, 15 minutes of that and the 5 minutes to set up the account and the application is initial setup. So the only thing you need to do if you now want to make an update, now since that we have this fully set up, let's say there's a new version of WebView Gold, you want an update. Here's how simple that is. Let's start from scratch. You open the WebView Gold Cloud Builder, you go on Publish App, you go on Publish Project, you lean that, you get yourself a coffee, you go to Starbucks, whatever you want to do, and then within 30 minutes, it's already done. You will now, since we have it set up with TestFlight, get a push notification from TestFlight saying, hey, there's a new build available. And then if you want to submit that new build to the App Store, it's so simple. You just go to the distribution, right? You will have the builds automatically appear in there. You select the new build, you add that for review, and it's in there. The beautiful thing, as always with WebView Gold, you got updates over the air, so you only need to rebuild the full application here with the Cloud Builder if you change anything on this panel or anything inside of here, or if there's a new iOS version you want to use the latest WebView Gold features on that new version. But that's how simple that is. Usually it took a developer to do it for you. It took hours and hours in Xcode, countless, build errors because there were some mistakes in setting up the initial signing certificates and all of that. You don't have to worry about that anytime anymore. It's all done for you. It does all the work for you now. How beautiful is that? On a real Apple computer, you don't even need to be an Apple user now. There you go. That's how simple that is. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any questions about the setup, please contact us in our support chat. We're here day and night to help you. We can't wait to see your WebView Gold applications get automatically shipped to the App Store. Take care. Bye.